All right, now, how everyone is doing out there? I hope everyone has had a significant impact for the day. I hope everyone enjoyed their morning, their afternoon, and their evening, and their night. This is the 19th of June, Juneteenth, inaugurated on the 21st of this century, um, 2021. And we're about to talk about this day and how it ended up being a significant impact on our generation for those who are millennial. Now, this is Leviticus 2011, and I have here the federal holiday, Juneteenth National Independence Day, Jubilee. It's a federal holiday. Okay. I want to talk about how this day shaped a lot for us going forward. It being a Jubilee holiday, the Jubilee is spoken highly of inside the Tanakh, or what you would say the Bible, King James Version, or the Maccabee. Um, it's interesting because today wasn't a riff-raff day. Um, it was observed. Many events were held throughout us big cities that held African American populations, like Houston, Detroit, New York, of course, Los Angeles, Chicago, Raleigh. And the thing that caught my eye is that when we're talking about a Jubilee and this holiday being observed to be a federal holiday, we have to recognize the impact that it had on us in the beginning to when it was recognized and to the end. Slaves or African American slaves being freed, Negro slaves being freed, and being able to assume their wealth. Because when you're put in peonage and you're forced to do hard labor and you don't reap your harvest right away, the seasons are thrown off. And this is spoken highly of in the Bible. I remember Tosh Tariq Bey talking about this heavily in one of his lectures. He actually talks about it all the time. How that the Bible or the Quran, as you would say, the recite, is a astrology and astronomy book. How it tells the seasons when things are unwind or rewind and mixed up. Now, for me, I read the Bible. I read the Quran. I read any book that's speaking about peace. I read books that follows karma, as far as like Buddhism, Hinduism. I read up on everything because it's very important that we know these things. Now, these books are no different than books like they're amplified here, where it says the Amplified Bible, the Christian Standard Bible, the American Standard Bible, the Aramaic Bible. Um, I read all these books. And what's very important is that when we are trying to assume this day to be the Jubilee Day, right here it says, we have to realize that the Jubilee is dealing with this right here, the special focus. The goal of the month, environment. Now let me read this passage in the Bible right here. This is Leviticus 25:11. I'll read the Aramaic version. In the 15th year of years, you shall have a restoration. You shall not sow your land, and you shall not harvest its natural crop, and you shall not pick its fine shoots. Now, this is 2024 going on 2025. So what? We're 6 years behind, or 6 years ahead. 6 years ahead being they owe us 6 years of, or 6,000 years. They owe us 6,000 years of repairment and reparations. Because it's saying right here, let's see. 1866, which would be a fourth of the assumed 6,000 years. Now, let's read up on this right here. The goal of the month: climate action, life below water, life on land. Now, I can see this being accomplished throughout those SGOs, such as like pastors, because there's a church near me where they had contractors out there planting trees. So I can see automatically that they're assuming the responsibility of following this goal and standard, it being the goal of the month for June. And June just happens to be the Jubilee month. Okay, now that's observed by Jews. That's also observed by Christians as well. So let's read up on all the goals: no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnerships for the goals. Now, these just happens to be the last two, 16 and 17, peace, justice, and partnerships for the goals. Now, that being the case, we're here with climate action, life below water, and life on land. That's the goal for this month. So this being the day of Jubilee, what is going to be next month's goals? Will it be peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnership for the goals? I'm excited to see. Now, this is something I would be interested in getting involved in, as far as like AmeriCorps, Peace Corps. One second. All right, sorry about that, guys. Um, yeah, I'm just very important to see to observe these following months and how they'll shape. I know you all are too, and I'm very interested in knowing what you all know, and interested in knowing how you all are going to forward these actions in your implementations and your plans. Because I want to help every organization, whether it be independent media. I want to help any organization as far as being heads of states and stuff like that. I want to be very unique and poignant in that. Because if I can help you and you can help me, that'd be very great as far as like achieving the overall plan we need to achieve as far as bringing peace and security. Because if we can't have peace and security, human existence as we know it, us being aliens to this planet, we're going to die off and there'll only be a few safe. And I know a lot of people like to talk about this in the circles as far as the adapt chambers. There only being 5 people who will survive this catastrophic event that is going to take place on this planet. Um, but let's go ahead and just read some more. Noble Drew Ali, he was a very wise man, and I respect everything that he did for us. And there'll be people who are going to come along and do more. So I'm very poignant on seeing, how things will shape up in the near future. Okay, 5, World Event Day. All right, World Ocean Day, World Day to combat desertification and drought. That's going to be a hard one to tackle where I'm at because there's a lot of desertification and drought. There's a few life microbes like trees with berries on them, but that's not. You can't just go throughout the city during the summer and just see like a pineapple tree or something like that, or an orange tree or banana tree. we have to work on that as far as like sustaining climate action. So again, that was the goal for this month. And it says right here, get involved. You should email this programming event, these SGOs. You should email them and try to see how you can be of help. Because if we can help each other, the faster we help, the faster we can get to other things that we need to take care of. Okay? If there's a groundhog in your yard, you shouldn't lay poison down. If there's a rat in your house, you shouldn't lay poison down. You should just try your best to keep everything neat and clean and just let nature take its course. Okay. Gastronomy Day. This is something that I need to work on more. Not eating foods that are cooked, like breaded foods, because I have an Arabian diet, like falafels, pita bread, and stuff like that. Honey. But I've like put more lively foods in my diet as before, like cherry tomatoes, grapes, oranges, bananas, peaches, plums. I've put stuff in my diet where I don't have to worry about going to the doctor for like anything on the list of plagues, like gastronomy, gastric acids, or diabetes. I don't want to have to see the doctor because I haven't been taking care of my health. I'm one who fasts a lot. Unfortunately, due to the existence of drug use in the city, I'm not able to um, encourage myself or encourage others to get out and enjoy nature more, as far as like walking miles and miles and miles along, as I am capable of doing, but I just haven't done it. Um, when you're in a city, you have to be very careful about how things become and how your day starts. So you have to plan ahead. And again, I know a lot of people like to talk about how stuff hits the fans and how you need to prepare. I've taken a different approach, a more unique approach, as far as like getting involved with international organizations. I'm not one who likes to prepare stockpiles of weapons or anything like that. I think that's I think that's a person's own initiative and their own directive, but I don't think that's like I don't think it's necessary because again, with the agendas going forward, they're not going to be stopped. I think if you own a large stockpile of weapons, I think eventually they're going to be confiscated. Pastors talk about this all the time in their church meetings. So I don't think. I think if you have cash laying around or something like that, or debit credits, I think you should use that to get gold pieces, silver pieces, copper pieces, and to invest it in stock. Because if you do that, then you'll be able to experience more that the world has to offer. Because one company is in another state, was in another country, you should have labor going. You should have labor there. You should have work there. So they should be communicating with you to see how you're going to run your part of the company. So if you just have weapons and you're just using your cash debits and your debit credits and stuff like that, you're just using that to buy stockpiles of weapons. Yeah, you can't go to one state, you can't go to another state and be able to live the way you want to live because the laws are dependent. They're dependent to change. So I feel sorry for a lot of people who have not prepared as far as like getting involved with international organizations. I feel sorry for people who haven't been involved in like making sure that they have a track record of helping other people achieve their goals. Because if you help someone, you're only going to get stronger. If you don't help anyone, you're not going to be strong. Okay, you're going to be out of the loop. You're going to be looking for a handout. And in these times, handouts are very slim. All right, so let's read up on this. Children uniquely vulnerable. We need to protect our children. One thing that I do with my nephews and nieces is I talk to them on a regular basis. We need to talk more to our youth because if we don't engage them, um, it's going to be a difficult road ahead. We have to engage our youth because if we don't, then that's just another, I'm sorry to say, but another investment in prison stock. So we can't have that. But let me read this. The report reveals that children are uniquely vulnerable to air pollution and effects can begin in the womb. Um, that's very true. Um, the air is muggy, right? What do people do throughout the day to create chemtrails? They drive around in cars that has diesel fuel in it that creates chemtrails because heat rises to the top. They burn out. Well, they don't take the enzymes in from the marijuana or the cannabis. They smoke it. Okay, so the enzymes are automatically dead. That creates chemtrails. There's a number of things. Practicing unsafe sex that creates chemtrails. I know one. If I'm with a woman, she has to eat the way that I eat. And again, I'm just saying, just for knowledge base. Um, you want to have a healthy relationship. You want to have a healthy household. You want to make sure you all are eating fruits, eating vegetables, drinking plenty of water. That should be the main increase in your diet is water. If you're eating more food than you're eating water, or drinking water, I should say, um, your thoughts are going to be cloudy. You're not going to function as well. You're going to forget things. You're going to have a limited. Um, you're going to have a limited amount of dementia. Um, that happens. That happens. This is why Joe Biden has been able to stay in office as long as he has, because given the fact that, um, excuse me, the air is very, very humid, very muggy. But he has health care on his side. I'm not sure what kind of health care he has. That should be public. But his doctor record should be public as well. But he has a lot on his side as far as that goes. I would love to see what his doctor has to say about his decision making, because he does have dementia, but he's been able to stay in office this long because of that fact. He has help. He has better health care. All right, that's something we can't get over. It's not about money. It's about connections. All right, so this was just a video on a whim. I'm not going to be long at all. I just wanted to point out the fact that matter. Remember, there's 20 sections to the 13th Amendment. One is being that Moors or Negroes or blacks, whatever language that you use to identify as a tawny person. Tawny as in tawny, not tiny. TAWNY. Olive hue. We were not supposed to be slaves. That was in the 13th Amendment, the original 20 sections. You can find it on the internet. I think Abundance posted it up in 2011, Abundance Child. I think she posted that on her webpage in like 2011. I remember reading that back then. I was 21. So that should be a good read. All right. Yeah, but I did not know about Juneteenth, really. I really didn't know about it. It's just something that happened in 2021. But it was obviously recognized before as Jubilee. But Jubilee, again, it's a Jewish month. It's a federal holiday, so it shouldn't be that hard to figure out. Like, we are the real Jews. We are the real Christians. All right? We come in all shapes and forms and sizes and hues, but we have the same texture of hair. We have the same energy output. That should let you know that everything else they say about us is benign. All right? Anybody that acts the same, they got on the planet at the same time and they have the same energy combustion. That's called chemistry. All right? So you should know who is of a different persuasion just by the way they act. If a person acts with a satire or a certain sarcasm, you should know who they are. Me, myself, I'm chill, I'm laid back. I'm not in the way. I'm not one of those persons at all. I have limited humor. I'm not a person who likes to have a lot of humor. I'm a very serious person. If I can still serve in the military, I would. All right. All right, so just read up on this stuff. This stuff is very unique. I'll say that for the most part. All right. Let's see if we can read up on some more. I want to go to Micah 4:4. All right, took me right there. Let's go to the Aramaic version. And they shall dwell, each man under his vine and under his fig tree, and they shall, and there shall not be one who molests them, because the mouth of the Lord Jehovah of hosts has spoken. Now imagine that. No one is giving you a problem about who you are as a person or what you do for a living, because it's already in you. Your energy is observed. You belong on a planet, and your next mission is to go to another planet and to another realm. All right? You never hear about laws that's being put on a book saying no one should die, no one should do this. No, it's meant for you to transition. All right? That's the big Masonic secret. Big Masonic secret. Where are we going to go after we pass form? All right? And that's the one thing that I want to do is study more masonry, because I want to know what happens in the hereafter. All right? But I figure, and this is just a joke, but I figure like listening to Lupe Fiasco, his music, I would know what happens in the hereafter. I think like when you have your own home, you have your own vine, meaning you know how to farm, meaning you have land, meaning you have free trespass, meaning you have the best transportation known to man, meaning your health is good, meaning you can walk for miles, you have a horse, he's well trained. This is what I look forward to, and this is what I see Juneteenth being. All right. This stuff is not hard. It's not hard at all. I think like when people get confused about how life is supposed to be and how life used to be, like you have to notice like we're on this Earth planet, and on this Earth planet there's mission statements for everything that you go past. And I kind of see like life being like Zelda, how Zelda had to go everywhere and read and get like free passage through certain villages to see who he can ask where the princess was so he can rescue the princess. This is how I see that. Reading the Septuaginta, reading the Aramaic version, they're very much the same. I think the Septuaginta has like 70 books, I think. if I'm not mistaken, the original Greek Bible. All right. Let's see. Stockholm 50 issues call for urgent environmental and economic transformation. Okay, they have a tweet about it. Shaping tomorrow. General Assembly President Abdullah Shahid reminding that the policies we implement today will shape the future we live in tomorrow. Governments and the private sector have an important role to play in rethinking strategies to target structural barriers that have hindered women's participation in labor forces, he said. The workplace of the future must be rooted in equity and free discrimination and harmful stereotypes about women's skills, work ethic, leadership abilities, or intellect. Success means instilling gender equality, equity practices embodied in legal protections, robust enforcement mechanisms, and deep structural and cultural change, he added. Mr. Shahid urged everyone to discuss constructively how we can secure not only a more gender equal recovery, but a gender equal world. So they're encouraging people to have dialogue about having a world that is equal amongst each other as far as genderism. He's encouraging people to have constructive conversations about enforcements on the mechanisms that's deeply rooted in instilling gender equity. Okay, how can we get past making dry jokes about another person in a gender? How can we get past xenophobia? How can we get past strong hate speech among genders? How can we do this? This is something that we have to think about.